There are three main factions within Bleach: the Soul Reapers, Hollows, and Quincy, each possessing unique attributes and abilities. Soul Reapers have katanas called Zanpakutō, and each possesses a Shikai release. Bankai is the second release of a Zanpakutō's, which is usually only available to captain-level Soul Reapers. Here is a list of the top 10 strongest Bankai, ranked by strength. 10. Renji Aburai, Suzabimaru. Renji was one of the most popular characters in the anime, and he was one of the first to use his Bankai. During his encounter with Byakuya early in the show, the lieutenant of the 6th Squad proved his immense talent by releasing the final version of his Zanpakutō, Zabimaru. Renji does not reveal his full form of Suzabimaru until the last arc, when he is fighting the Kunasi, masked demasculine. Before that fight, his Bankai version had been incomplete the entire time. The entire Bankai is essentially the same, but the pelt that was previously draped over his shoulder has been replaced with a gorilla arm that is far more powerful. 9. Ichibē Hyōsube, Shirafuda Chimanji. One of the new characters introduced in this storyline is a member of the Royal Guard. Ichibē Hyōsube, also known as Monk Manako Osho or Just Osh, a title bestowed by the king and meaning he who exposes the actual identity. This is because Ichibē was the one who gave Zanpakutō, Shikai, Bankai, and everything else in the Soul Society its names. His Bankai is one of the most powerful, and he came dangerously close to ending the last Bleach battle prematurely. He can brand his opponents with ink with his Shikai in his Bankai form. This mark permitted him to change any property of his opponent, thereby allowing him to win the battle with just one word. 8. Chojuro Sasaki, Koko Ganryo Rikyu. Yamamoto Jinryuse's lieutenant must be a formidable Shinigami, and that's what Chojuro Sasaki is, a character that sadly only shows all he's capable of near the end. Koko Ganryo Rikyu, his Bankai, greatly alters his Zanpakutō, as robes alter, and a glove or ring appears on his hand, allowing him to control and direct tremendous electrical currents towards his opponent. The ability to affect the weather, which can result in severe thunderstorms, makes this Bankai one of the most hazardous. 7. Retsuwa no Hana, Minazuki. Until the manga's last arc, the captain of the 2nd Division was a mystery. First, there's the Shikai form of her Zanpakutō, a big flying slug with the ability to heal humans. Retsuwa no Hana was not a major character until the last arcs of Bleach, and it is during her final fight against Araki Kenpachi that a piece of her backstory is revealed. In that fight, she also shows the real form of her Bankai, which came as a surprise to many fans. Her Zanpakutō Minazuki, in contrast to her Shikai, begins to develop a blood-like liquid that surrounds her and eventually transforms into a shorter katana ready to kill in battle. 6. Sunsui Kyoraku, Kaden Kyokatsu, Karamatsu Shinju, Captain Shinsui Kairaku, one of Bleach's funniest and most engaging characters, demonstrated when he was at the head of the 8th Division as the series proceeded, despite his drinking habit and laid-back demeanor, and his Bankai was a complete contrast to his personality and even his Zanpakutō's Shikai form. In its Shikai form, Kaden Kyokatsu took the form of gigantic swords that Kyoraku could hold in each hand. He could also control shadows, similar to Shikamaru's ability in Naruto. In Bankai form, however, the blade takes the shape of a giant shadow, and any opponent who is struck by it is overcome by despair. 5. Rojuro Otoribashi, Kenchar Butadon. Before being exiled and becoming visored, Rojuro Otoribashi was a Gotei 13's captain 100 years ago. He was reinstated as the captain of the 3rd Division after the battle against Susuke-zen, replacing Jin Ishimaru. Rose, his nickname, is able to demonstrate his Bankai in the struggle against masked demasculine in the 1,000-year Blood War. Kenchar Butadon, as it is known, transforms its possessor into a superhuman conductor. Rose appears to have 2 large golden hands holding a baton, and dancers with petal-shaped protrusions on their faces attack at his command. 4. Rukia Kachiki, Haka no Game. Rukia is one of the Bleach characters who has grown dramatically over the series. Rukia was nearly useless throughout the initial arcs, having no powers and assisting Ichigo in becoming a Shinigami. Her tremendous and powerful ice talents aren't revealed until the Hueco Mundo storyline. She is able to release her Bankai in the final arc during her combat with Iznat. Rukia's Zanpakutō transformed into an ice princess in her Bankai, Haka no Dagame, allowing her to freeze everything in her path. She can even bring the temperatures of her surrounding to 0 degrees Fahrenheit, making her a dangerous foe. 3. Hisuki Urahara, Kanen Biraki Benihai Maritime. Hisuki Urahara, the former captain of the 12th Division, was one of the last Shinigami to display his Bankai. Since Urahara is one of the most popular anime and manga characters, fans all over the internet speculated a lot. His Zanpakutō, Benihime, could discharge red light beams and was one of the most intriguing weapons. Urahara's Bankai, Kanen Biraki Benihai Maritime, was released as a last resort in his struggle against a skin Nak Lavar, since the Shinigami refused to utilize it. His Zanpakutō takes the shape of a giant lady marionette, and Urahara can remodel anything it touches at will. Extremely strong. 2. Zaraki Kenpachi, unnamed Bankai. Zaraki Kenpachi is a fan favorite, and many have wondered since his first debut how far his true might can reach. The true name of Zaraki's Zanpakutō is never revealed to the viewer, and the mystery of its true power lingered throughout the first arcs of the manga. Zaraki is able to release his Shikai and eventually his Bankai after a false start. When he reveals his power increases when he grips his sword with 2 hands. Keeping up with his strength, Zaraki's Zanpakutō transforms into a massive broken blade, and its energy soars to previously unheard heights. 1. Ichigo Kurosaki, the true form of Tensa Zangetsu. Ichigo Kurosaki is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful characters in anime history. He has not only developed his Bankai before many experienced Shinigami, but he was also able to reach his Shikai at record speed. He was then able to shift into a hollow, giving him much greater power. That wasn't enough, though. No, Ichigo, like Renji, possessed an incomplete Bankai that he could only fully unleash in the battle against Wak. It's essentially the same as his old Bankai, but with a nod to his Shikai form in the form of an increased side to his blade.